Stop batching your skincare formulas by hand. Do it effectively, automatically, and quickly instead. Today, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process, a simple formula that will help you batch your product formulations so you can always maintain product consistency no matter the size of your batch. Let's get started. If you're one of the formulators who still calculates all their batches by hand, you're not alone. I did it for a very long time, and the result was stress, because I could never figure out if I was doing everything correctly. Lots of wasted time. I had to go back on many calculations to figure out if I've done it correctly. And obviously the products were never consistent, which if you're doing it as a hobby, it's kind of okay if you're just making products for yourself. But if you're trying to start a business with it, well, not the best, right? Because you want to keep your products consistent across all batches, no matter when you make them or how many you make. It's a little tool that really helped me get along and speed up the process. Otherwise, I would just have everything written down in my formulation notebook and on post-it notes, and then on some other papers that I would just insert in there, just like file one paper after the other. And well, you can imagine that was a huge mess. I'm not too happy to admit all this, not too proud to admit it either, but it happened. Now it's not happening anymore, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can stop doing that as well. Let's get started. What you're going to need is maybe 10 minutes of your time, access to Google Spreadsheets, and a random formula that you've created for your products. The first thing you want to do is open up a new Google Sheet. So just type in Google Sheet. Here we go. And you will have to sign in with your Google account. I'm already signed in, so let's go on. First things first, let's go in the first column. We're just going to number the ingredients for the organization's sake, so that we know how many we're using. I think I'm using 9. So that's it. Now we're going to list the ingredients, and here we're going to add up our formula in grams. So to show you how all this works, I'm going to be using a formula that I've posted on my DIY skincare blog on summer grapefruit cocoa body lotion. This is about 2 years old, and it's absolutely beautiful. I actually just love the simplicity of this recipe because it's super lightweight, it's perfect for summer, and it smells like cocoa butter and grapefruit. So awesome. So here we go. This is the ingredients. This is the formula. Now, you probably already know all the ingredients come from the most used in the recipe to the least used in the recipe. In my case, we have to do a little bit of change right now. So the Cosgard, which is preservative in the recipe, goes here, and then you have peach mica, which is absolutely gorgeous, and grapefruit essential oil. Anyway, we're going to do a sum of all these ingredients to make sure that it comes up to 100 as it's supposed to be. Now, this is another reason why I prefer using Google Sheets as opposed to Excel, because if you're not skilled with Google Sheets or this kind of formulas and Excel in general, this can actually help you get much further, much more effectively than Excel does, because as you see, it autofills it, it corrects it, it can help you decide what's wrong if the formula isn't working. The next column is going to be our percentages. So essentially what we're going to do first is we're going to mark this part as a %. We're going to divide these numbers from this column with the number at the bottom. So here we go. Formula is, there you go. He already almost knows what we're doing. So we're doing this C3 divided $C $12. Here we go. And again, auto fill suggested. Yes, we're going for it because we like it to be automatically filled, so we don't have to do any extra work. So now we have the ingredients listed, we have our formula, we have our percentage, and this is the most important part of this tutorial video that I'm doing. It's the batch. Oops, we go here, batch size. So this is the batch size that you will want, that you will need. So essentially you develop a product, your formula comes up to 100, but now you want to make like 10 of these. So we're going to need 1 kilo of the product, and this is where we're going to insert the 1 kilo, so 1000 grams, to calculate the exact amount of each product needed for the kilo. This can make your whole process so much easier that you will not believe it. So for this formula, what we're going to do is we're basically going to multiply this and this. Okay, so this is how we get started. This, and then $E, because we're in a column E, $2, and we multiply this with the 3. And we go. Autofill again. Yes, please, we do. And now I'll show you in a second where all the magic happens. So this is now our batch size, right? And this is what I promised you can change. So let's see. Let's say I said you will need 1 kilo of this. So this is 1000 grams. And this thing calculates everything by itself. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that something good is going on here and that you're learning something new. So let's say that you need a small batch size. Let's say you're only doing like 20 grams because you're doing a test. It does 20 grams. Let's say you really want to scale, go for 5,000, sorry, which is like essentially 5 kilos, and it does the calculation for you. The advanced stuff here would be to add additional columns for pricing, but I actually already have that, and I'll show you just a second. I actually have a spreadsheet that you can use just for this exact purpose, to make the entire batching process of my products much easier. And then eventually I figured out that this is super useful, so I started selling it as well. In my skincare formulation spreadsheet, so what you have here, actually, you can keep track of all your ingredients, of all your suppliers, of approved formulas, work in progress, holidays that you're planning, exclusive products, and then products that contain more than 15 ingredients. I've actually set this one to 30 for those of you who are looking for who have more complex and detailed formulations, as well as link to all kinds of suppliers. And then basically this is like an idea dump. So with all the formulas, if you can look closer, essentially you have what we just made now. So it's an ingredient, grams, the original formula, percentage, and the needed quantity that you can also change according to whatever you need. But apart from that, this is another part that's super handy. If you're not making it just as a hobby, but you're looking to sell, calculate here costs. So this is cost per ingredient per gram you enter in grams. So for example, distilled water costs about €1 here for 1000 grams, which is like a kilo. So then it calculates the entire cost, and then the cost per gram per product, and the total cost per product. In the end, once you add these up, you can actually get a complete calculation of the entire product, which makes your life then in the long run so much easier, because it can also help you determine the product pricing much easier. At the same time, here you can have the entire ingredient list, price per kilo or per liter, where you get it from, where you use it, benefits if you want. And if you want, you can actually just, if you think you ran out of all these tables, you can duplicate, and it will duplicate exactly as it was. You change it to approved number 2, let's say, and you just keep on doing whatever you're doing. It enables you to streamline the process of the whole process of formulating, batching, so much easier, and essentially calculating costs as well. Now, this is not the final cost, obviously, but it is the cost of this just one particular product. I promise it was not easy for me at the start. Like I said, I used to do this manually. Thank goodness I do not have to do it manually anymore, because I mean, the time, the nerves, and obviously also the product quality that I lost, because not two products were the same. I'm really bad at math. I'm even worse at everything else that comes with like calculating stuff. So yeah, this can make your life so much easier.